Hello, I'm Bob the Barber, and this is Vintage Card Minute. Today, I'm going to talk about 10 of the greatest names in sports cards. And first of all, I want to thank my fill-in camera person, my beautiful wife, for helping me out for this episode because my normal cameraman is at his grandma's house, so I had to call in some reinforcements. Anyway, let's get started. First is 1974 Topps, card number 326, Sparky Anderson. Uh, they say that he got his name because of his fiery, energetic personality. And if any of you watched him as a manager for the Reds or the Tigers, you know that that is absolutely true. He did have a fiery personality, and he loved to mix it up with the umpires. The other name that he had was Captain Hook because he had a tendency to hook starting pitchers at very early in the game and go to his bullpen. A little backstory on Sparky: he played 1 year in the major leagues for the Philadelphia Phillies, and he was a manager from 1970 to 1995, and he is the only manager to win a World Series in both leagues. Number 2 is Wilford Whizzer White. This is a 1954 Bowman, card number 125. Wilford Whizzer White was a standout athlete, football player at Arizona State University, where he was a second-team All-American. He played in the NFL from 1951 through 1952. Notable thing about him is his son Danny. Danny White was a Dallas Cowboys quarterback from 1976 to 1988, and before that, he played in the now defunct World Football League for 1974-1975 for the Memphis Southmen. Interestingly, there are two Whizzer Whites. There is also Byron Whizzer White, because there is no card of him. He played in the NFL from 1938 to 1941 for the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is actually the name of the Steelers before they were the Steelers, and he also played for the Detroit Lions. But where old-timers may know him from, he was a Kennedy-appointed Supreme Court Justice from 1962 to 1983. He was Ruth Bader Ginsburg's predecessor. Next is Sibby Sisti. Interesting name. It is actually short for Sebastian. This is a 1951 Bowman, card number 170. I did a little research on Sibby. He was a 14-year major league veteran. He played for the Boston Bees, which the Boston Bees would become the Boston Braves, who would become the Milwaukee Braves, who would eventually become the Atlanta Braves. The most notable thing about Sibby is he was a technical advisor on the baseball film The Natural with Robert Redford. And he also had a role in that film as the Pirates manager. Next up is 1993 Upper Deck, card number 41, Bip Roberts. Bip got his name from his mom because when he was a little boy, he couldn't say the word bit. He would say bip. He'd say, "Mama, I want a bip of honey," or a bip of peanut butter. So the name stuck, and so he was Bip. As an adult in the major leagues, he said that Bip stood for better in person. Bip played from 1986 to 1998 for various teams in the major leagues. Next up, 1960 Topps, card number 317, Pumpsie Green. Pumpsie's real name was Elijah. Just like Bip Roberts, it was a name given to him by his mama, but there was no explanation ever given as to why his name was Pumpsie. His mama just probably thought it was a cute name. Pumpsie was an infielder for the Boston Red Sox and the New York Mets from 1959 to 1963. Next is 1959 Topps, card number 52, Orville Couteville. Coot was a name given to him by his high school football coach, but it was actually originally Cookville. He named him after one of the opposing players. And when Orville got into college, it became Couteville. That's what his teammates started calling him. And he played for the Detroit Tigers and two other teams from 1958 to 1963. Next up, Rabbit Marinville. 1960 Fleer, card number 21. I'll bet you didn't know that this guy is a Hall of Famer. He played 23 seasons in the major leagues from 1912 to 1934. He got his nickname Rabbit. There were two explanations when I did my research. One was because he had quick, agile hopping movements, and the other was because he had big ears, so they call him Rabbit. Next is 1959 Topps, card number 186, Jim Mudcat Grant. Mudcat played in the major leagues as a pitcher from 1958 to 1971 for the Cleveland Indians and 7 other teams. The story behind his name is there was 2 stories. One said a random teammate said that he was ugly as a Mississippi mudcat, which, by the way, is another name for a catfish. And the other story I got is Larry Doby, the Hall of Famer, and also a teammate of Mudcat, said that he was ugly as a Mississippi mudcat. I don't know. Jim does not look that ugly to me, but you know what? Whatever. Anyway, next is 1954 Topps, card number 197, Schoolboy Rowe. Schoolboy played from 1933 to 1949 in the majors, where he did get 1 World Series ring with the 1935 Detroit Tigers. He got his name because he was a 15-year-old pitcher down in Arkansas, and when he was out there pitching, people would scream from the stands, "Don't let that schoolboy strike you out!" And the name stuck with him through his whole entire life. Now, last but not least, one of the most amazing names in sports cards is this, and it's not necessarily a good thing. This is the 1955 Topps, card number 61, Forrest Spook Jacobs. They say that he got his name because he would spook infielders by whizzing balls right past their head. Now, we all know that this nickname is not a good thing. And I know 1955 things were different. I'm just glad that, number one, Forrest is not African American, that they did not give this name to a black man. And I did look up the Kansas City Athletics from 1955. There were 3 African American players, including Vic Power. I did some further research and found out that that awful, terrible, derogatory term came about in the First or the Second World War, which of course was from 1939 to 1945. So I don't know if it was an offensive term, but I really hope that his African American teammates were not offended by his name. But I will tell you this, that this card just doesn't age well. And before I close, I want to thank everyone who has viewed my videos. I want to thank everyone that has liked my videos, who has commented on my videos, and most of all, my subscribers. I'm up to 101 subscribers. I am so excited. You just have absolutely no idea. And I wanted to let everybody know that not only do I have full-length videos, I have shorts. I have about 23 or 24 shorts. They're 15-second little quick hits. If you go to my channel, That Vintage Card Minute Guy Bob, and click on the shorts. It's going to show you all kinds of short little videos that are I think are kind of interesting. And I want to thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.